always going somewhere, you was trying to be great. Never stopped to think about what you trying to escape. You ran from where you started and forgot about who you are. You tripped over your feet, you learned a lesson, got a scar. You woke up in the morning and forgot about your dreams. You poured a cup of coffee and put on a pair of jeans. You fell in love with images they showed you on a screen. And somewhere on the way you'd forgotten what it means. And now you're drinking just to cope with it, hoping you don't get close to it. Your friends sniffing coke and overdosing off of opiates. You hoping that wherever they went, you get to meet them. But in the meantime, you still want to find freedom. So you spent your days trying, spent your nights crying. Found your happy thought and you remembered how to fly. So you believe in magic, but it don't come out the sky. It's what happens every morning when you open up your eyes. You got time, my boy, you got time. Why you rushing yourself? You're doing fine. Slow down, my boy, just slow down. Look around, it's happening right now. You got time, my boy, you got time. Why you rushing yourself? You're doing fine. Slow down, my boy, just slow down. Look around, it's happening right now. Got drive, got spirit, got heart. No matter what it is, the first step is just start. Back when you was young, you was hooping at the park. Had to hustle on the way home to make it for dark. And now you're on the road playing shows. Crazy how it goes, from my head to my shoulders, to my knees to my toes. Got this feeling in my soul that you close this time. Can't explain it, I just got this little hope inside. When I close my eyes, I can see you standing on stage singing songs for arenas. Spent your whole life just looking for a meaning, and all you really needed was something you could believe in. And you chose love. Look around and it shows. Your friends all hug you like they'll never let go. And when you fucking up, they be checking you for it, making sure that you're ready for the blessings in store. And you should see the way that your face light up. Boy, you talk about them all like they 10 feet tall. And anytime they down, you gon' pick up the call and let them know that you would do anything for them. And they gon' try and trick you into thinking that you great, cause you rap good or you could sell tickets out of state. Put some money on the table, try and own your name. But it's something inside of you that won't go away, and that's you. The human, the man, they gon' ask you what your moves have to do with your brand. But you a brother, you a son, you a lover, you a friend. You a product of the ocean and the air and the land. And you love the world too much to try and hold it in your hands. And you wise enough to know that you can't. And that's the thing I love about you most, my boy, is through it all you don't forget where you stand, my best friend. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me, yeah, yeah. Saying you got a friend in me, down.
Good afternoon. Quick little live stream, name only like 30 minutes. Because I gotta get out there on the road. One of my sisters is coming to stay with us for a little bit, so we had to rearrange one of our guest bedrooms to make it hospitable. And what I've been doing all day. I mean, I won't lie, I woke up like 10:45. I got there's a new show out on Netflix called Beef. Really good show. It's hard to explain, but you might not like the ending because it's more of like a kind of like a bittersweet ending, but it's a really good series. Like showcases like raw human emotion and how like sometimes we just lose track of what it all means. And it's super funny. It's super insightful, funny, good show to watch called Beef. Got the actor's name. but it's got the it's got, I think his name was Glenn on The Walking Dead. I forgot what his real name is, but he's like the main actor in it, and he's really, really good at it. But go ahead and talk about what happened over the last night. We had a little bit of a spike up. We put in that higher high on Ethereum. So now this setup is active. So if we come back below 2031, I will be entered short on Ethereum. If we come back below 29,424 on BTC, I'll be entered short. And yeah, the entire market itself looks like it's about to turn momentarily bearish. Like I said, I don't care if it dumps down to $100 on Bitcoin. I'm just saying, like, we're most likely going to see a retest. You can at least admit that. So looking at the US 100, US 100 is in a short position right now. The SPY is as well. Currently coming back down below the A, kind of forming a head and shoulders pattern. The DXY did put in that lower low that we talked about the other day, ever so slightly, and then rocket right back up. So I wouldn't say like we're absolutely done, because I mean that was like just the absolute bare minimum of a retest of this support, and we put in a lower low. We've seen it happen. We've seen one and dones. So this could just be a straight double bottom almost, but we might come back down momentarily and try to retest it one more time before we actually see some upside. But I mean, look at this downtrend. I mean, there is going to be a retest to the upside, probably at least to 106. I wouldn't put it past it to kind of go up a little bit more going into the future. So with that being said, DXY, the whole correlation, it doesn't necessarily always mean that it's going to be one-to-one correlated, but if the US dollar is gaining some sort of value, then if BTC is kind of stagnant in its hypothetical value, then the dollar will decrease on Bitcoin side. Like I said, I'm trying to think of it, and it's hard to think of it like that because we associate Bitcoin to a dollar amount constantly. But if Bitcoin has its own value, like let's say no other coins were attached to Bitcoin, what would be its value? That's what I'm trying to think of at this moment in time. So like if the dollar is losing value, you need more dollars to make up for the value of a Bitcoin. If the dollar's gaining value, you need less of those dollars. Basic, I know, but it's hard to kind of think about it subjectively. So that's why this kind of is correlated to a sense. Not as extreme as people would probably like, but it is. So if we look at the rest of the market is putting in those higher high ABCs. Link really didn't do so. It did right here on this wave. It didn't do so off of the macro, but Link has put in that ABC structure. I know I was looking at ADA put in its higher high, still has not yet come back down below. So there's a lot of shorts on the board. You got Sol right here, putting in its higher high on this this mini wave. Matic, no. ETC has that same sort of setup, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Mark it out for you. Let's see. KDA doesn't really have anything for me to take advantage of. The only major thing would probably be the next local low ABC, which would be right about here. Would be a potential position for a long, and then of course the macro setup here. If we put in a lower low off of this level here. So nothing to short on KDA. And then LTC has like some sort of setup here. It's not crazy good. I would say it's like super thin. But across the board, there's a lot of altcoins that are in positions. DOT has that same sort of setup here. So DXY sitting bullish. Most of crypto sitting in a stagnant or bearish position, or about to be. So Take it as you will. Like I said, I don't pretend to know that the market is going to dump. All I'm saying is that right now we're retesting previous resistances and they're not quite doing well. At this moment in time, they are. We're still above Bitcoin's resistance. We're still above Ethereum's. But we'll see what happens. If you like the show Beef, I don't trust your judgment in comedy. Listen, man, like it doesn't have to be super funny. And I mean, you can dislike one character in the show that you don't think is normally funny, and you can find the rest of the show funny. I think it's to count the entire show as a loss because of one person who, yeah, plays a big role in it. I don't necessarily think you should write off an entire show, because I mean the show itself, even without the comedy bits, I think was pretty good. Especially that ending scene, that was phenomenal. There's one quote I really liked from the ending scene, and it's they drop hints to like that they're gonna do stuff the entire show. I wish I maybe would have done a little bit more with it, but I think what we got was pretty good. Chocolate, what's going on, man? I'm actually kind of super sad. So you guys know I'm always trying to be smart. So if you drive with Lyft for like, or DoorDash, anything that involves your car for at least 10 hours a week, that is now pretty much officially like a business vehicle. And you can get pretty much all the full tax write-offs for it. You can get a deduction on property tax, you can get a deduction on repairs, you can get a deduction on mileage. So the thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to drive Lyft Black so that I'm getting a high dollar per mile for my vehicle and then also getting the tax deductions. But unfortunately, that's just not possible. You have to be 25 to drive for Lyft, and currently I am 23. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but the next best thing would be like take my, high value vehicle to go DoorDash for just 10 hours a week, which it's like a day and a half, and then I would use a different vehicle for the rest of the week. So it's not like it's overloading the vehicle, but it'd be good for it because I mean it gets it on the road, gets it moving, make sure that stuff isn't falling apart while it's sitting in a driveway. But kind of sucks. I was really looking forward to that, but it is what it is. I understand why they do it, because Lyft has their own insurance while you're in the process of riding. But it sucks, man. I was really looking forward to that. I didn't know that was a thing until I tried to go through the process yesterday. You're driving around at Coachella? That must be fun. Must be a lot of fun. Question, bro. What exchange do you use? What country do you set your VPN? I use Bybit, and I set my VPN to Europe on Opera GX. Is that a bird guy? Do I have that correct? It's been a long time since I've seen your YouTube username. What's going on? Hitting the gym? Not yet. I mean, I've been doing stuff and things. I've been doing the DoorDash. I've been lifting Coke, 12 packs. 10-ups. Wrong terminology, but hey, we're on our way, dude. My ketosis is off the charts. I did one of those little ketosis strips today. We're almost like in full purple. That's how good we're doing. For anybody that's gonna go ketoacidosis, ketoacidosis is like when you have no more fat on your body and your body starts metabolizing its muscle and its organs. I got fat. All right, we're good for a little bit to ride out ketosis. But now I'm down. I weighed myself today. I'm trying not to weigh myself every single day, but I was curious just to see like what the initial weight loss was. And I've gone from like 205 and I'm down to like 196 now. So 9 pounds. All right, man. Have a good day at work. Love you. Kisses. But like I said, once I get down into like the 180, 175 range, that's when I'm gonna start doing more like high rep calisthenics. Probably gonna start off with some bitch work. You know, I'm not gonna do like full push-ups. I'm probably gonna do like sloped push-ups, and then try to get as many as possible. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do high rep exercises just to build muscle fiber rather than muscle mass. Hey, Kite, BitGet is a good exchange. You can long and short BTC at the same time using coin margin. I can do that on Bybit as well. Oh, you're talking about like using perpetual? Yeah, I mean like you still can on Bybit. It's a little bit more different, but I guess that is a good feature. Just do standing squats, no weights. Yeah, I mean, I do those every once in a while, anyways. I'll be cooking, I'll be cooking noodles in the kitchen, squatting, and then wonder why I can't move the next day. That's how out of shape I am. A little bit of an exaggeration, but I've been trying to slim down physically, mentally, but grow spiritually. So I've been looking around my room trying to figure out like what I don't need anymore, like what's just taking up space. Been getting rid of old clothes. Trying to sell some stuff too. I got a AKG C214 microphone that I just listed. Trying to get that sold because I've had this in my drawer for probably 5-6 years, and there's no dust on it because it's been in a drawer. But it's a really good condenser microphone. Cost me $400 to buy. Trying to sell it off for like $200. If someone like tries to haggle me, I'll let them go down to $150. But don't tell anybody that. You smell like McDonald's yet? No, doesn't smell like McDonald's. Just smells like effort. Smells like a man trying to get his shit together. That's what it smells like. Dude, I've been doing some mental gymnastics. All right, so I'm on wave 2 of the gateway process, trying to do some like hypnosis manipulation of my brain. And so like here's my going theory is that your brain is a meat computer. And now traditionally like everything is automatic. You know, your breathing, your blood pressure, your thermogenesis through your brown fat, everything is automatic. But if you really do some deep work, you can kind of associate releases of chemicals or whatever it might be on command. You know, this whole thing with Wim Hof, you know, he has a method of doing it. And the gateway process has its own method of doing it through like practice of, I have a friend who tells this story of like when he was a kid, his I don't know if it was his parents or his, you know, stepfather, whatever it might have been. I forgot what he told me, but whenever he would get hurt, let's say it's a cut, a bruise, or like a deep wound, his parents or whatever would tell him to close his eyes, continuously say white snow, and picture like white. and the pain would go away. So like he's kind of like conditioned his brain that this like signal word and this mental image is association with getting rid of pain. So release of opiates. Is it opiates or opioids when it's endogenous? I think it's opiates. Opioids. Same difference. So I'm trying to do that with just different things. So one is like before I drink one of these like carbonated sparkling waters, I do some like mental hypnosis to make myself think that it's a nice, full can of Coke. And for the first couple of seconds, I can't tell the difference. It's pretty neat. I get McDonald's sweat if I eat more than once a week. Oh no, man, that might be might be something a little bit. You gotta fix that. Johnny, what's going on, man? Dude, do you lucid dream? I don't actively right now, but it has been something that like I've attempted in the past and had success with. I can probably count on my hand maybe like 3 or 4 lucid dreams that I've intended on having. Having. And you bring up a good point. I do want to get back into that, but I am focusing on just some different things. The golden ticket would be like consciously inducing sleep paralysis and then going into a lucid dream. So that's what I'm attempting to do right now through the gateway process. But I haven't been doing my due diligence. If you want to like be a real good lucid dreamer, like you have to keep a dream journal and do reality checks every hour, or just be naturally born with the ability, which I have not been given that ability to do it naturally. But my first lucid dream, like I remember it, it was 7th or 8th grade, and I was at my locker and I was putting in my code. And at the time, I was doing reality checks like every 30 minutes because I was obsessed. So, in the dream, I'd do a reality check. And, like I have an extra finger coming out where like your pinky is. And there would be like an extra finger. And I was like, I'm in a dream. Immediately, like as like a child would do that hates going to school. Kind of sounds weird in today's climate. Well, I went on a rampage and I threw fireballs in every classroom. Now, like as soon as I noticed that it was a lucid dream, like all the surrounding students disappeared. So it wasn't like I was burning students alive. All right. The school was empty at that point because I was just now consciously aware and alone. And and then I remember trying to jump out of a window, but like your first lucid dream, you just don't have like full faith that stuff's gonna work out. So it sounds stupid because I was able to summon a fireball and throw it into a classroom, but then I jumped out of a window and just smacked the ground. So I wanted to go jump out of a window and fly, but like a part of me was like, I can't fly, and then I just hit the ground and woke up. So sucks. And I had a couple more, and it seems like the problem I have is like staying calm. I end up like my heart rate goes up too high, and then I end up waking up. You ever you read the book A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming? That's a good one to read. I have that on my Audible. Beardy, that is what's up, man. Yeah, I kind of lost count of like when I officially started one meal a day. I'm gonna say it's been like a week and a half. But I didn't just so like I've been through intermittent fasting before. When I was like 18, I weighed about 197. I didn't really look too good, and I did a 4-hour eating window for like 4, 5, 6 months, probably 5 months, and I went from 197 down to like 162. Felt great, looked great, like everything was like tip top. But the reason why I was doing it was selfish. I was trying to do it so I could look good for a girl. It wasn't like a true I'm doing this because I want this. It was because I was doing it because I want that. And I felt like this was an obstacle to get to that. But then when I lost that other part fell away too. This time it's a little bit different. And I've attempted it many times since then, but I could just never get past like the first like week and a half, 2 weeks. I would have like a good couple days, but then I just get like, I'm sure it was like cravings and just negative self-talk and like all that kind of stuff building up. But this time, like I really eased myself into it. Probably for like the last month that I wasn't streaming, I was really focusing on like just drinking more water rather than Coke, trying to cut the carbs out of my diet so I wasn't so carb heavy when I went into the fasting, and just started slowly taking away meals. So like normally I would snack throughout the day, so like I would stop snacking, and then I would normally eat like, you know, lunch and dinner, so then I would skip lunch, and maybe have like a little bit heavier dinner, and then over and over just kind of led up to the point where like I was like, all right, now I'm ready, let's do one meal a day. So it wasn't necessarily like I just went, I'm gonna do it. So I think that's why I had a little bit easier time rather than, oh, and the combination of the cold baths to make up for the lack of dopamine that food was giving me. That was a big one. Like to replace the dopamine with a positive thing, help my brain kind of like stay stable. And now feel so good. Like I woke up late today, but when I was out of bed, I was out of bed. I was ready to go. Gain muscle mass and strength. Looking forward to that bit. And I mean, when I had the most gains, because for some reason I've always been obsessed with like the Captain Crunch hand grips, if that's what they're called. I know it's Captain something. And when I was intermittent fasting when I was 18, that's when I was doing the Captain Crunch things, and I started with 75, and then I went up to 100, and by the end of it, my forearms were ridiculous. And I was doing, I could close a 250, but I couldn't hold a 250 for more than 2 seconds. I could close it and then open it again, but 100, 150, I could keep that closed for like 2 minutes. By the end of it, my hand hurt ridiculously because that's just a long hold. But I need to purchase a nice quality set of those to start doing that again. There's that whole saying, you're only as strong as your hands. If you got a 400-pound bar, you got to be able to grip it first before you even try to lift it. I've only had a few. I've been reading a lot about it. It's pretty mental. It's fantastic. It's it's something that like feels like a superpower, because I mean you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping, and the cool thing about dreaming is it doesn't work like reality. You can almost slow down time and get multiple hours out of a dream that probably only lasted you about an hour. And just do things that you always dreamed of doing. And one cool subject, while this was back in like 2014 and I was doing research on all this stuff, one cool subject that you learn about is that if you look at like any great inventor, they were on a polyphasic sleep cycle. They wouldn't sleep how we normally would sleep, because most of the time they were in a precarious position for someone of their time. Usually, once they were like well set up, they had funding, so they weren't having to go work like a day job and then invent on the side. Like inventing was their full time thing. So, a lot of these great inventors would have um, polyphasic sleep cycles. And just like changing your eating habits, your body isn't going to necessarily like what you're doing at first, but it adapts. So a polyphasic sleep cycle would be like this. Every 2 hours, you sleep 20 minutes. And that's your life from this point on. You don't get any major sleep. Now, at first, probably for like a month, you would be a walking zombie. But the brain is so incredible that through like neuroplasticity, it rearranges how stuff works. So it goes, okay, this is our new normal. If we only have 20 minutes of sleep every 2 hours, we're going to take full advantage of that. And instead of being in like light sleep for 20 minutes and then waking up and then feeling like shit, your body like almost, once you like close your eyes and like really like go like, okay, I'm going to sleep, your body goes into like full like, okay, we got to do this, and that within this time period. So you get REM sleep, you get a little bit of deep sleep, and throughout that entire time period, they've done studies, and you actually get more REM sleep through polyphasic than you do through like a regular 8 hour. And I personally believe that the reason why a lot of those great inventors were doing that because they were taking advantage of lucid dreaming. Even Tesla talks about in an interview, they go like, why don't most of your inventions have like rough drafts of you creating them? And he goes, because I don't need it. You know, I build these things in my dreams, and then once they work, then I go ahead and take it to the physical reality, and then that's when I build it, test it. That's it. That's a schematic. And it didn't make much sense. But when you put all that together, it sounds amazing. I don't know if I'll get to that point. I doubt that I'll do polyphasic. I did polyphasic in high school. But it's a little bit more difficult when you have stuff going on. If you have to go work or do anything like that, like you need pretty much like an entire like month and a half, like a month to allow your brain to adjust to the new conditions, and then like half a month for your body to catch up with the new programming to get you back to like full healthy consciousness. So like when you're going to school or just like in our regular society, you can't really do that. Kind of impossible. But yeah, enough of crazy talk for today. Like I said, we already went over the crypto. You guys know my opinion. We're currently sitting above still some resistances, but as we get back below them, I will be entering short trades and looking for a larger multi-month retest to the downside. Like I said, I don't pretend to know whether or not like we're gonna go and push past 15K and retest. You know, what was the next major? Yeah, I mean, if we push past 15K, not really necessarily a good sign. Probably go down to around 10K. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. I think we've kind of found bottom, but I do think there's going to be a retest of this lower range going forward and kind of putting a rounded bottom of some sort. But yeah, I gotta go get ready for today and keep myself moving so that way I don't fall into old habits. Getting healthy, getting mentally healthy, getting physically healthy. We're doing it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully a couple months from now. Like I said, I have a bunch of videos. Let me make sure like I saved those and I didn't delete those, because that would be actually upsetting. Yeah, so I have like 7 different videos where I've recorded my current mental state and like my current health and what it made me feel like. So hopefully in a couple months I can kind of juxtapose those 2 videos together. The one that I'm hopefully going to record in the future and the one I recorded in the past, and put it out there, because I mean if you want to do well with trading, like I've kind of said it so many times, but you gotta just be a different human being. You can't be someone that sits at a computer all day. So that's why I've just taken a back seat to a lot of this. I'm still trading, I'm still paying attention, but I'm zooming out a little bit. I'm not so concerned, and I think that's a good thing. Some people go, well, you're missing out on money. Maybe I am, but I feel like it's better for me. If I'm making money, I'm doing good. But more importantly than that, if I'm making making logical sense about the way that I live my life, I'm doing even better. But all right, I appreciate you guys today. I know I'm a little bit late, but thanks for showing up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, I'm trying to do earlier in the morning, like around 9, 10 a.m. But unfortunately, like I'm waking up a little bit later than usual. For some reason, like my alarm isn't working. I need to double check everything and maybe set a couple alarms to make sure that it goes through. And then hopefully we'll get back on track on that front. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the thing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then we have a little bit of a day off, and then back on Monday. Let me pick a little song real quick. Call me Stevie Ray. Load that song up. All right, give me your eyeballs. Let's do it. All right, just count to 10, and when you hit 10, you're going to be happy today. Bye!
Another day without a home, just the same bag of clothes. Started with a dream of the places I would go, but lately I'm losing hope. I'm tired of being broke. I swore that it wouldn't break me, but baby, I'm getting close. I mean, I'm fucking tired and I'm uninspired, and I'm tired of staying up at night to wonder why. I know it's people that believe in me recently, though in real life it feel like ain't nobody need me no more. And still Stevie, you know, the same one who can't sleep cause he dreaming to grow, same one who hug you close, trying to see in your soul, so I can speak to the parts of you that need it the most. I think I'm doing my best, getting better, I swear. I'm trying like every day, quit drinking and it feel like I'm crying like every day, but I know that it's for a reason. I know that I'm not nothing, I know that we all something, I know that my time's coming and soon it'll all be over. It'll all be over. It'll all be over, and we won't have to cry no more, no more, and we won't have to cry no more. You ain't gotta cry no more. Wings got broke, don't wanna fly no more. Riddle me that, I got this deep trauma, keep on bringing me back. I hear my problems head on, but they keep hitting me back, man. Still dropping for fans who still watching the kids, or pill popping, we hurt. We heal often, barely hanging on to something, finally caught me a break. I've been feeling like a walking mistake.
Hey, the blessings remain. Grew up watching music videos where all my favorite rappers would be flexing their chains and telling stories that reflected the pain. And still lessons on protecting my name. See, it was never about obsession with fame. It's hard to focus when I'm caught in the mix. Feel like I'm overcompensating when I'm talking my shit. Now the smile ain't as real that you saw in the pic. Let my ego in the way, trying to soften the hit. Damn.
Feeling like fuck cops, let them get the buckshot. Dollar bill, I'ma show you where the buck stop. Hit them with the kung pao, I be going nuts now. Used to get the rum round, shorties want fuck now. Baby, I'm back again, ain't nobody iller. Beating on my chest like a fucking gorilla. Grew up on a Tribe Called Quest and Jay Dilla, but the Mac taught me how to swing donuts for real. I'm just a product of my motherfucking environment. So growing up, all I wanted was a crew gone wild. Now the crew gone wild, I spit a couple freestyles, turn my life around. Gave these cats who thought they want bite me now, but what's surprising about it? Not a motherfucking thing, I guess. That's why I gotta do mine. I put in all of this time. The first sun turned water to wine. Not lying, boy, I'm not even trying. I'm Popeye off the spinach going out of his mind. These cats chicken and they about to get fried. Sitting in the cloud in the sky, looking like a fucking crash course on how to get fly. On the Bay Bridge, headed to the rowdiest side, where the Bay says don't be sniffing powdery lines. Just smoke rock cocaine straight from Ronald Reagan, but we still know every song off of Ronald Dragon. What up? I'm a fucking Bay boy, all I do is make noise, motherfucker, what up? Had the sauce day one, I ain't talking A1, lil' mama, what's up? We was chewing on pills, going Stewie in the hills, motherfucker, what up? Now I'm all around the map with the bay on my back. Look, I just bought a Glock just to shoot at the cops. Pop, 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 turn a pig to a fucking pork chop, what's next? Ain't playing with these cats no more. I get the murder in the beat, that's what the casket for. I got a feeling in my gut that the cash is close. I hear them switching up they tune, trying to match the note. And the snakes out there so the grass can mow. I ain't tripping, that's exactly what I'm asking for. I told them go ahead and bank on me. Rappers frontin' that they gassed up, really got their tank on E. If you feeling brave, gon' play about me. Sweet as sugar iced tea, but it ain't gon' be okay.